this is good. Admitting it's a glaringly sunny day, and one of the few days that your brother Malcolm is in town and free long enough for the two of you to actually see each other. You have a dental appointment that day, but you make plans for him to pick you up afterward. Your appointment takes a little longer than expected because your dentist tells you that you have started grinding your teeth in your sleep to a worrying degree. Given how nearly everything in your life has been feeling enormous and stressful lately, this doesn't come as a surprise to you. He suggests that you try to reduce your stress levels and fits you with a night guard. I mean, it feels awkwardly too big for your mouth, and you feel embarrassed looking at your puffed up face in the mirror with it on. Oh, honey, I know the problem. I don't have a night guard, but spacers, braces, and retainers for an umpteen number of years. And I mean both kind of retainers too. I have permanent retainers and one that you put in every night and take out in the morning. It's real great. You finish up the appointment in a hurry and leave about half an hour overdue for your meeting with your always punctual brother in the parking lot. Finish up quickly as possible and leave the building to scan the parking lot for your brother's car. But you don't see his old Civic anywhere. You pass by a blue Camaro and jump as it beeps at you, causing you to jump in surprise. That's not a good sentence. It says the same thing. It takes you a moment to realize, but it's Malcolm in the driver's seat. You hop in the passenger seat and then compliment him on his new ride. He mentions it's a perk of a promotion he recently obtained at work. He starts telling you how much more money he's making, how his career is taking off, and how he's starting to look for houses with his wife soon. You clutch your bag containing your night guard in your hand, and you feel yourself clench your teeth as you think about your crummy apartment and how long it's been since you've been able to take a day off work without having to worry about making ends meet. He's only 2 years older than you, but it feels like he's eons ahead of you in every other aspect of your lives. So, yes, how did your appointment go? Did you get drilled full of holes or what? Sense of shame comes over, laughing about your dorky night guard with your brother, telling him that you need a night guard, why you need it. No, you shouldn't lie to your brother. You were late, and yeah, just tell him about it. The dentist said I'm apparently grinding my teeth too much when I sleep. Oh, Malcolm replies. Been stressed lately, kiddo? It's a sign that you don't really want to go into it. You tell him that you don't think that's the case, and it's probably just a random thing. He doesn't pry further and instead begins reminiscing about the one time you chipped a baby tooth because he accidentally knocked you over once. You went to dinner and catch up on things, but you still feel somewhat distracted by that gnawing anxiety in the back of your mind. Though you enjoy your brother's company, you still feel like you want nothing more than to go home and hide from the world tonight. It becomes harder for you to try and stuff all your horrible feelings down and go emotionless when someone like the dentist can see a fraction of what goes on inside your head. It leaves you feeling embarrassed and weak, and you hate yourself for feeling that way. You wonder if you're really fooling anyone into thinking that you're a normal person. And then you wonder if your brother knows and is hanging out with you out of pity tonight. After he drops you back off your apartment, you throw your night guard out. No! You can't even stand. That's bad, man. You shouldn't throw that out. Need to get you seeing that therapist. It's a dry Sunday morning. This is the same picture as earlier. You didn't think I would notice, but I noticed. Sorry. I'm not trying to dull down the seriousness of what's happening, but yeah, it freaking sucks shit for this guy. I feel awful, so I need someone to make me laugh a little bit. You grab your morning coffee and scoot your rapidly growing kitten off the office chair, and despite her protests, sit down at your desk to check your email. A new message pops up in your inbox almost as soon as you do. It's from Amanda, and you remember your meeting at the cafe and awkwardly bringing up your feelings to her. hey buddy. Subject, hey buddy, body. Hey, sorry it's been a few weeks. I meant to get this to you sooner, but it took me a while to get a hold of my folks back home. Dad told me to say hi, by the way. Anyway, you started 2 paragraphs with anyway. Bad writing. Even in my emails, I don't do that. Okay. Sorry. Anyway, I remember that what we talked about last time I saw you, and I hope you aren't insulted. But I asked my mom for the number of her therapist. Don't worry, I didn't tell her who it was for. I think she's worried about me now, haha. Anyway, the number is 647-723-5274. It's a really good office, you should look into it. Talking to someone never hurts. If you're worried about money, don't be. They're one of the few that has a really good sliding scale fee system. They won't charge you what you can't afford. I hope you're feeling better. It's really nice to see you again. It's only enough that you could call and make an appointment today. Your kitten curls up on your lap and you sit and watch TV. Oh, look at the kittens. Call the therapist right now. Looking forward to anything you can offer. Try your luck and call the number. Even the mere thought of talking to someone makes you anxious. She cared enough to send it to you. We're not closing the email without thinking about it. Sleep on it and see how you're feeling in the morning. You're not keen on the idea at all, but you don't want to disappoint Amanda. You are not closing that email. The thought of picking up the phone and calling someone about this right now is overwhelming. Sure, you've been having a hard time lately and have motivation issues, but are you really in need of therapy? Shouldn't you just be able to get over it yourself? What if they put you on medication that makes you feel like a zombie? What if you go to the and the therapist looks down on you? What will Alex think about this? Oh, we're calling. Sorry, I saw the decision. I'm like, no, there's no way we're not calling, honey. I control your life. We're gonna help you. Trying to think about all these things makes you feel like a very big deal, and you decide to take your time to think on it. The rest of the day passes quickly, and that night you have a hard time trying to sleep because your brain is too busy thinking about all these things, and imagining all of the ways it could go horribly wrong. Next morning you check your email again with blurry eye sand and a mewing kitten. And a mewing kitten? I think that's what it means. Amanda's email is still there, seemingly waiting for you. You are no more decided than you were yesterday one night. Just call already, you can't hear it. No. Don't call, this is way too... No. Call after wrestling We're gonna fucking call. Read through Amanda's email 2 or 3 times, and sit and stare at your computer for a while. While the memory of that uncomfortable conversation makes you feel nearly embarrassed and self-conscious, part of you was also encouraged by the fact that she cared enough to get back to you at all. Sitting in front of your computer, you start to question things like whether or not Amanda sent you this number out of pity, or perhaps in some sense of obligation after having listened to you. You question her motives and the validity of her concern, and whether or not you think seeing a therapist would be helpful. Just call already. You almost unconsciously reach for your phone, and before you realize what's happening, you're listening to the therapist's main line. Before you can bring yourself to hang up, you're listening to a slightly clinical but not unpleasant voice of the receptionist. She asks how she can help you. I'd like to make an appointment with the doctor, you managed to stammer out. The conversation is quick and not nearly as unpleasant as you were fearing. And quicker than you can say Freudian slip, you've scheduled an appointment. Quicker than you realize, appointment day rolls around. What do? Okay, well, I already know what I'm going to do. Go to the therapist's office. Head to the therapist's office even though you're totally unsure what to expect. Sit in your car, terrified, and try to talk yourself into how I'm going. Well, that's not going to help you. Just thought of going to your appointment ties your stomach in knots. No. We're going into that therapist's office. There's no way. You have your first session with your new therapist, Dr. Susan Melville, a tall woman in her mid-40s with a disarming demeanor and patient eyes with the start of the slightest smile lines. She makes you feel comfortable fairly easy, which is a pleasant surprise after all your anxiety over the appointment. As you leave, you make a second appointment. You're still skeptical about all this, but figure you might as well see how it goes. The hardest part, it seems, was taking the first step. You're not sure how and if you're going to tell your family or your partner, but you'll figure you'll deal with that when the time comes. Either way, you feel relieved that you managed to see this through, instead of being paralyzed before you. Even if nothing comes out of it, you did something you said you would instead of flaking out and running away. Oh, excuse me. You're emotionally exhausted when you get home and collapse into bed. You sleep better that night than you have in a week, and you're not sure if it's because you were so tired when you got home or if it's because of the therapist. You've spent some time in the therapist's couch, having difficulty finding motivation to continue going to your sessions. Oh, no. There will not be a problem with that. It's on a Wednesday morning, or early on it's on a Wednesday morning. This is why recording at night is great! It's early on a Wednesday morning. Lately you developed a nasty habit of waking up 10-20 minutes before your alarm rings. Oh my god, that's awful. I hate when that happens. Now, unfortunately, today's no exception. You lay in bed each minute, taking closer and closer to wake-up time, and passing on a swelling wave of ever-encroaching dream. Sooner your alarm blazes with caustic inevitability. You frantically pound the snooze button and retreat under your blankets, as if the warmth of your comforter can shield you from the passage of time. You almost always have difficulty rising from bed, but today that simple task seems nothing short of Herculean. After several snooze cycles, you decide that you just can't deal with work today. You're incapable of even rousing yourself from bed, let alone going into work and having to force yourself through a work day. Not to mention that you've snoozed so many times that it would be impossible to make it on time anyway. What do you do? Hop on a bed and start getting ready for work. You'll be late, but that's better than nothing. And to work, at least. If you leave now, early if it gets too unreal. No. We're going to work, man. No. We gotta go to work. In spite of the fact that your body is actively fighting you literally every step of the way, somehow managed to drag yourself out of bed and make it your way to work. Surprisingly, you only end up being 5 minutes late and nobody seems to care or notice or care. Though when you woke up, the simple act of being physically present at your job seems like... Ooh, those are changing. It seemed like an impossibility. You are surprised by your inability to push through a day. While you were far from enjoying, or indeed even really coping with the dullness of your job today, you seem to be slipping into a translate state of automation, and time is nevertheless spent. Eventually, the end of the day rolls around, you head home utterly exhausted, but at the same time proud of yourself for having stuck it out. Yeah, your depressed interaction is exhausting, and you are becoming more and more withdrawn. You are seeing a therapist, even though you doubt anything she says will make you feel better. It's 2 a.m. on a Sunday. You have work in the morning. You roll over to see the sickly green glow of time. Why would you have work on Sunday? Ew. No one has work on Sunday. I guess some people do, but I wouldn't want to work on Sunday. Sickly green glow of a time to spare an LED alarm clock. An exasperated sigh. You've been trying to fall asleep for over 3 hours now. Every time your head hits the pillow, you're overcome with anxious thoughts about themselves around each other. Worries about your job lead to worries about your future lead to worries about your very identity, and you're unstable. Unable to and you're unstable. That would be a true statement, but not what is written. You're unable to shake them off long enough to doze off. Your eyes won't stay shut, as though your mind races through imagined scenarios going horribly wrong, which you promptly attribute to your general worthlessness. Whew. Oh god, I don't like what I read. Your thoughts run too fast for you to come to a satisfying conclusion on any one of them. Your room is completely silent. The signs have given away to a loud static noise rattling around in your head. Heart beats loudly, and you worry it's beating a little too fast. You worry that if you focus too strongly on racing heart, you'll figure out hard enough that you'll have a heart attack. You have to be awake for work in a mere 8 hours, and you know that your work is so much worse on only a few hours of sleep. What do you do? Well, you can't force yourself to sleep. Can't go to bed, shouldn't be that hard. Just close your eyes and let it happen. Snap out of it that's wrong with you. I can't start stressing out. We're probably going to go to work now, exhausted and fuck everything up and get fired. Yeah, that, go to your period. Sleep's clearly not happening no matter how long you lay here. You get out of bed and head to your desk. Laying in your bed with nothing but your thoughts to keep you company makes you feel like you're going insane. The harshness of the light coming from the screen makes you squint as you turn it on, despite how often you find yourself in this exact situation. There have been so many nights just like this. As you're beginning reading a news story, one of your online friends lands. You're up late again, I see. Yeah, I can't sleep again. Thinking too much. Think Nick too much again? Thinking. You guessed it, sad face. Want to talk about it? You end up talking about it for quite some time, about how you've been feeling. It's always easy to talk to you about personal matters, and the added security of talking online helps. Being able to rethink what you say as you type it out and check it before you send it helps you gather your thoughts, and you find it less intimidating the way to type it all out into a prompt rather than say it out loud. I don't want to be the guy who thinks they can diagnose something because I read a Wikipedia article, but it kind of sounds like you might have depression. You should talk to someone about that, like a doctor. Pause. Are you really that transparent? Or is it that you've gotten too used to talking about your feelings at this point? Your insomnia makes you a little paranoid, but you shake it off. We can do some research and see if there's a doctor near you. It's not like you're going to sleep anytime soon anyway. Might as well have something to do. So just alone, I'm really able to sleep. I don't have depression. Thank you for concern. No. I have talked to someone about it. Oh, okay. I'm glad you're taking that step. I've heard it's not an easy one. I know people kind of suck at understanding this sort of stuff sometimes, but there's nothing wrong with having depression. You wouldn't be ashamed to have bronchitis or something. There's no reason to be ashamed if it's your brain that's sick instead. You spend a few more minutes with talking with Attic about your therapy and your feelings about it. He's incredibly supportive, and you're happy to find that you have a confidant who understands your illness and is willing to lend an ear when you're having nights like this. A little while later, you fall back into bed, kitten in tow, and find it easier to drift off to sleep. Even in therapy, you know you're still going to have nights like these sometimes. It's good to know you have a friend who will carry them through with you. Whew. Okay, good. It's late at night. Sorry, I'm just tired now. Reading is hard. It's a chilly Thursday evening, and you've gotten off work. This has felt like one of the longest days you faced in recent memory. Even though nothing exceptional had happened, a ton of minor things kept going wrong. The coworkers have tried your patience throughout the day. You considered leaving work early, but the last thing you want to do is deal with your insufferable boss on top of everything else. You're lost in thought on the commute home, and your feelings of frustration both with your life and the world around you begin to build up as you run into minor annoyances, like someone bumping into you really hard as they walk by. By the time you get home, you're exhausted, and you remember that these feelings were the ones you identified as a negative feedback loop with your therapist. These pent-up feelings aren't dying down, and they are eating at you. You open the front door and stare into your apartment. An overwhelming feeling of exhaustion comes over you, and you feel like your energy levels are low enough that you likely settle into a single activity. What do you do? Shake it off the bed and maybe go to the phone and rest of the evening. You gotta reach out, ma'am. The bottom line with the problems today, reach out. Your head feels too noisy, and you need to trade it for some actual conversation. Your therapist did say it was important to reach out to your support network. Might as well give it a shot. Who do you call? Coworker Sam. Yeah. Okay, this is a hard choice. Whether she just loves you or she just doesn't understand you, I feel like that's not going to go well. You should call your girlfriend. I think calling your girlfriend is tough. You dial Alex, who picks up after only 2 rings. You ask her if she has time to talk. She says she's just hanging around for PJs and is actually somewhat bored. For once, due to being caught up in her coursework. You try to figure out where to start with how you're feeling when her come with missing her face. You ask if she feels like grabbing some dinner, and you know her barely contained surprise and delight on the other end. Yes! Okay, it feels so good to help this guy. Oh. You meet about half an hour later in a speculative diner not too far from your apartment. While the food is great, you're surprised by how much your mood seems to have elevated just by being in her company. Yeah, I was gonna say, your girlfriend makes you happy. Well, at first you were extremely hesitant to talk about your job situation for fear of being burdensome or sounding like a whiner. You see her listening intently to what even to you seems to be genuine concern. After winding down with the beer, you cautiously open up a bit more about your feelings surrounding your job and how it drained it leaves you feeling. How you feel like you're simply existing, selling days of your life for no real purpose. You surprise even yourself when you start talking about how frustrated and stymied you feel about your job. But how you used to feel passionately about things, but feel like all your energy and